The House of Representative Committee on Pension, led by the chairman of the committee, Honorable Usaini Mohammed Jallo, the deputy chairman, Honorable Prince Olaide Mohammed, and members of the committee went on an oversight function visit to the Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate, PTAD. The chairman of the committee, Honorable Mohammed Jallo, in his speech, said the purpose of the visit was to assess progress, identify challenges, and foster constructive dialogue before the presentation of the 2025 appropriation budget.
Members of the 10th House of Representatives Committee on Pensions to underscore our commitment to oversight and collaboration. Our visit is to assess progress, identify challenges, and foster constructive dialogue before the presentation of the 2025 appropriation budget to the National Assembly by Mr. President. As our Oversight Committee, we recognize the vital role PTAD plays, especially in payment of pensions, gratuity and death benefits to retirees of the federal government exempted from the contributory pension schemes. Yes. We acknowledge the dedication and hard work of Executive Secretary, Management, and all the staff. Once again, the purpose of our visit is to oversight, and this is in connection with Section 88 and Section 89 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Similarly, the standing orders of the House of Representatives and the People's Legislative Agenda of 10th House of Representatives, in view of which I'm going to read with the benefit of the ES and our management staff, with a view that to seek to, 1, evaluate the implementation of the 2024 budget performance report, 2, identify areas for improvement and provide necessary guidance, 3, strengthen our partnership for effective governance. Consequently, we expect PTAD and our management team on the following: transparency and openness in operations, efficient use of resources, effective service delivery to retirees, continuous improvement in all sectors. On our side, as an oversight committee, we play the following roles: provide guidance and support, ensure accountability and transparency, facilitate collaboration and knowledge sharing, above all, prepare the needed funds to pay our existing retirees, especially those retired before July 2007. Let us work together as a wake-up call to 1, address the challenges and overcome obstacles. 2, enhance service delivery and public satisfaction. 3, uphold the highest standards of integrity. And lastly, the committee would like to know an update on the following: update on all PTAD assets, update on permanent office structure, update on staff structure for both headquarters, zonal and state offices, employment opportunities in the 2025 budget, report on zonal offices and state offices. In conclusion, we sincerely thank you for your tireless efforts. We value our partnership and look forward to fruitful discussions. Together, we will drive positive change and excellence, not only to PTAD, but to the pension industry as a whole. We do feel remarks I have open doors for our honorable members for us to ask questions and make recommendations. In my speech, I made mention of this is the standing orders of the House of Representatives, 10th House of Representatives. Section 99 of this document says as follows: there shall be a committee to be known as the Committee of Pensions, constituted at the commencement of the life of this House. The committee's jurisdiction shall cover examining all issues related to pensions within the public sector in Nigeria, except only pension of judicial officers, and making recommendations of appropriate measures to ensure timely payment of pensions, gratuity, and other timely benefits to retired public servants. Developing policies of contributory pension scheme for the public sector. Recommending contributory pension policies to be adopted by the private sector in addition to or as modification of existing policies on pensions or disengagement benefits in the private sector. Developing regulatory framework and setting standards for institutions operating or seeking legislation as pension fund managers and or pension trustees to guarantee the security of pension investment are the payments in due times. F. Investigating and periodically reporting of the failure of employers to meet pension obligations and recommending rescue measures for pensioners and sanctions for the employers. G. Developing a suitable pension scheme, especially for the teaching service in the country. At all tiers of government, I recommending rescue mechanisms for payment of standing pensions to teachers in the country. Continuously studying all institutions existing or proposed relating to pension as stated herein or as may be referred to the committee and making recommendation to the House. Matters relating to pension and gratuity generally. J. Oversight of the National Pension Commission, Military Pension Fund, among others. K. Oversight of the National Assembly Pension, Annual Budget, etc. Then the legislative agenda also of the 10th House of the which is what adopted at the House, read thus. Section 8.7.6 page 71 of this legislative agenda also is a document that gives the 10th House of the Committee on Pension so many powers as relates to pension in Nigeria. It says as follows. Over the years, our pension system has faced challenges related to inefficiency, corruption, delayed payments, underfunding, and lack of illustrativity. Pensioners complain of difficulty accessing pensions and the inadequacy of monthly pension payment. The current provision for access to only 25% of the pension fund open fulfilling statutory requirements is deemed insufficient. Therefore, reforming the pension system is crucial to ensure that retirees live with dignity and that workers have confidence in the system. Scrutinize the provisions and implementation of the Pension Reform Act to identify gaps and address emerging challenges in the pension management administration. The House will engage with pension stakeholders to achieve a review of pension fund management, ensure employees' compliance with the pension contributory scheme, and oversee the enforcement of the pension regulation, upon completing the review with stakeholders. Necessary amendments will be made to achieve a robust, more efficient, and effective pension scheme. Mandate transparent and frequent audit of pension funds and administrators and impose disclosure requirements on pension fund administrators and pension fund custodians. Legislate to expand corporate blue schemes tailored to include workers in the informal sector. Explore the need for legislation to allow percentage pension funds to be invested in the critical infrastructure. The last but not the least is the Pension Reform Act of 2014. Since I know PTAD is familiar with this act very well, if you go to section 42 of the act, which PTAD is fully aware, the committee have just finished investigation into the PFS and PFCs. It took us 11 days to do a thorough investigation. Each day we scrutinize 3 PFS. Lastly, we call the 3 PFCs and PENCOM for scrutiny. This comes out because of the motion referred to the committee by the House of Plenary. We received 2 motions which are about to submit our report. Our findings indicate that there is a lot of things going on with the PFS and PFCs. And the management, the oversight that is supposed to be carried by PENCOM, proper things are not done. Currently, the PFCs and PFCs are controlling over 22 trillion naira of pension funds, and still, pensioners are complaining of the lack of payment. There's no need for that. If pensions are being paid as at when due, there is no reason why such an amount of money will be lying with the PFC. PFCs are 3, PFS are 17, and still this money is there. Last year or 2 years ago, government borrowed about 10 trillion naira from the fund to finance infrastructure or whatever. And from our findings, from the documents submitted by the PFS, What was long forgotten was not even 10 trillion, it was about 12 trillion, 12.7 trillion. Currently, that amount stands around about 22 trillion, and still pensions are complaining. And the next one we go to, this committee will submit its report to the House and ensure necessary changes will be effected. That it will take us to the amendment of the Pension Reform Act 2014, which we are going to do before the year runs out. And certainly there will be changes in the pension in the administration of pension industry in Nigeria, as it relates to PLCs, PFU, PFA, as it relates to PLC, as it relates to PANCOM, and even as it relates to PTAD. If you hear what I've said on the legislative agenda, passed by the House, the issue of amendment will be carefully captured in this Act. I want to include the management, executive secretary, and management of PTAD to leave the meaningful as a safe in the speech so that both the House and PTAD can build the pension industry in Nigeria.
The Executive Secretary of PTAD, Tolulope Odunaya, expressed her appreciation to the committee for their support over the years. She further said the visit has allowed the Directorate the opportunity to intimate the committee on our achievements since the last visit, as well as plan for the nearest future.
I wish to first start by expressing our appreciation to the committee for your unwavering support to the Directorate over the years. We surely do not take it for granted. I also promise to reciprocate the gesture and continue with the good relationship between PTAD and the committee. Your visit to PTAD today has afforded us the opportunity to intimate you of our achievements since your last visit in 2023, as well as our plans in the nearest future. In addition to regular payments of monthly pensions, PTAD in September 2024 implemented the January 2024 pension increments as approved by the federal government through the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commissions, and paid the 8 months accrued arrears to some of the concerned pensioners. We hope to offset the balance soon, subject to availability of funds. We further paid part of the arrears of the 2023 pension increments to pensioners in the health and education sectors of the parastatals pension departments. Also, in line with our plan to bring our services closer to the doorsteps of our pensioners, we have expanded our state offices by opening an office in Ilorin, Kwara State, bringing the total number of our state offices to 12. As a result of the expanded gratuity and next of kin projects embarked on by PTAD in December 2023, following a myriad of complaints from next of kin of the deceased pensioners, we have been able to defray a substantial amount of their entitlements, and this is contained in the budget performance reports with you. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Deputy Chairman, honorable members, once again, I welcome you all to PTAD, and I wish us a mutually beneficial visit. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Executive Secretary, in a presentation of PTAD Budget Performance and Implementation Report for January to October of 2024, stated key achievements and challenges faced by the Directorate.
The Directorate has developed the I Am Alive Confirmation Solution, a web-based application designed to consolidate the gains of the field verification exercises conducted earlier on, ease the process of validating the status of aliveness of our defined benefit scheme pensioners on the monthly pension payroll, and sustain the integrity and reliability of the Directorate's pension database on an ongoing basis. The nationwide application has started. B. Training of representatives of the pension unions and pension desk officers of various agencies on their I Am Alive confirmation solution usage. C. The Directorate has launched its anti-corruption and transparency unit, bearing in mind the myriad of issues of fraud that have bedeviled pension administration in the past. One of the most important steps taken by PTAD early on its establishment is the adoption of the zero tolerance to pension fraud. This was aimed at establishing trust between the Directorate and its pensioners and to ensure pensioners are not swindled by fraudsters. B. The Directorate has held stakeholders' engagements across the 6 geopolitical zones to brief pensioners on the Directorate's events and activities, also its projected plans for the future, and obtain feedback from pensioners and stakeholders. Stakeholder engagements have been held this year in all the 6 geopolitical zones. E. Mechanical filing system for safekeeping of pensioners' files and easy retrieval. F. Continuous training and upskilling of staff for enhanced productivity. G. Post-verification. Thousands of irregular, ineligible beneficiaries have been dropped from the payroll, thereby reducing government liability. H. The economic livelihood and welfare of thousands of pensioners under the DBS have improved as thousands of pensioners, hitherto dropped from the payroll or who had never received payments, are now being enrolled and have a regular means of sustenance. The last one, public outcry and complaints from pensioners have quietened over the years, and there is increased trust in the government's commitment to the welfare of pensioners and its ability to professionally administer pension payments. Please, let's look at the challenges the Directorate is currently facing. The first one, the Directorate headquarters location is currently located at 22 Castina Hala Crescent, Maitama, where we are all seated right now. The rent is very outrageous, and currently 106 million is currently 106 million and has recently been increased to 135 million. The building has been sold, and the new owner has given the Directorate notice to quit upon expiration of its current rent in May 2024. However, a new premises rented from EFCC that requires remodeling for the agency is ongoing, located at Mapushi, and we are hoping to relocate there soon. The lack of funds to meet the Directorate's operational requirements. For instance, there is insufficient funds to fully settle inherited pension obligations, leading to high cases of pre-action notices and court cases against the Directorate. C. PTAD's current mandate limits its life cycle with a sunset clause, which stipulates that its winding down is to follow immediately after the demise of the last pensioner on the defined benefit scheme. This has implications for current staff, operations, and the legacy of PTAD. B. The enforcement of court judgments for legacy assets recovery, and also the infringement of the right of pensioners as a result of our obligation to comply with ICPC and EFCC requests to stop pension payments during investigations without court orders. E. The Directorate lacks utility vehicles for running its operations, making current efforts at carrying out mock-up verification strenuous amid local conditions in the states. F. The GIP misapplication for pension payments does not give the Directorate access to detailed reporting for the reconciliation of payments. The Directorate requires a higher level access to the back-end reporting to self-reconcile failed payments. Due to the configuration of the application, thousands of payments fail at various points and are not immediately known until failed payment report is generated or the pensioners complain, whichever comes first. G. Biometric verification of pensioners in the diaspora remains outstanding. To ensure that only eligible pensioners remain on the government's payroll, they must be verified in person. The Directorate thus requires data on the number, profile, and location of pensioners to prepare a plan and budget. Funding for the verification will also be critical. H. The data center needs an upgrade as most of the equipment have outlived their lifespan and software updates are urgently required. Chairman and members, We are very glad and very appreciative of the commitment already demonstrated by the committee by actively participating in our stakeholders' engagement and an oversight visit and other activities of the agency to get a first-hand feel for how we work and witness the same too. We pray that the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain, and like the NUP would say, rest is sweet after labor. Thank you very much. The Honorable House of Representative Committee on Pension may wish to note that at the time that the Directorate submitted the advanced copy of its pension proposals for 2025 to the Budget Office, the pension increment changes that were approved by the federal government had not been announced and thus not included in the figures captured in the above proposals. The following are the pension increments that have been approved in the course of the current year. 1. The National Salaries Income Wages Commission 20 and 28% pension increment applicable to all pensioners on the Directorate payroll, with the exception of pensioners of People's Bank, Assurance Bank, Nikon, Nigerian Re, PTAD, and NITEL/MTEL. This circle had varying effective dates for specific category of pensioners across the 4 departments, ranging from 1st January 2023 to 1st January 2024. 2. The National Salaries Income Wages Commission circular of 32,000 Naira pension increments applicable to all pensions on the Directorate payroll, with the exception of the pensioners of People's Bank, Assurance Bank, Nikon, Nigerian Re, PTAD, and NITEL/MTEL. This circular has an effective date of 29th July 2024. 3. The National Salaries Income Wages Commission pension increment of 10.66% applicable to the pensioners of People's Bank, Assurance Bank, Nikon, Nigerian Re, PTAD, and NITEL/MTEL. This circular has an effective date of 1st January 2015. 4. National Salaries Income Wages Commission pension increment of 12.95% applicable to the pensioners of People's Bank, Assurance Bank, Nikon, Nigerian Re, PTAD, and NITEL/MTEL. This circle has an effective date of 1st January 2020. The Directorate will not be able to implement these pension increments and pay all accrued arrears if the current pension budget is not adjusted to accommodate them. The Directorate is counting on the continued support and cooperation of the House Committee, which it had enjoyed over the years toward making appropriate provisions for funds in the 2025 budget. Thank you.
Members raised observations, such as the condition of service for staff of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, amongst others.
What will you say are your plans towards repositioning PTAD? Upon listening to the chairman,
up to now, no condition of service. So if I work in PTAD for 10 years, what happens to me? No handshake? There is no provision for me? I want to know. I know that you're new, but these are areas that I should begin to look at. Second, salary review. You cannot work in the pensions system without having a very good salary. PTAD should be at par with PENCOM, if not more. Mr. Chairman, I have a chairman that is ready and willing to support you in whatever capacity. Please present their matters before this committee so that you'll be able to
The chairman gave his closing remarks as the program came to an end.
with these few remarks from the honorable members, I think we have come to the end of our intellectual session. I would like the ears to respond to some of the questions asked by my colleagues. Other questions that has to do with the budget performance, that will be done when we come to the budget defense 2025. Nothing this year, inshallah. Thank you very much.
I am Usman Sofiat, reporting for NAS TV.